for your information, India is one of the least policed states. But you must understand the systems of policing in India, I'm not trying to criticize anybody, but the systems of policing in India largely, but to control and oppress people, that was the purpose of the police at that time. But the same training processes, actually same training institutes are still training our police. So still many of the police have still same attitude. Freedom has not entered their… as an idea has not entered their head. Police are there to handle situations only when they go wrong. A lot of people don't go to the police station. You all go to the police station? No. Well, we can get to those questions later, but right now, what are we here as we sit here? What we call our life is, on one level, just a combination of two things: time and energy. Time is rolling away for all of us at the same pace. You can't hold it, you can't stop it, you can't accumulate it. You can accumulate wealth, you can accumulate money, you can accumulate knowledge, but time is running away for all of us. People may think they're doing different things, but every minute, we're just 1 minute closer to our grave, that's all that's happening. We think we are going here, we are going there, we are going somewhere else. No, as far as the physical existence of who we are, we're going straight to the grave. Hello? This is not my wish. That's how life is designed. So time is running away for all of us. But how come one human being is here, one human being is another, one is joyful, one is misery, one is success, one is failure? It's the energy, how you manage this. Either you can turn it against yourself, or you can make this into a phenomenal process. If the intensity of your energies, life energies are managed in different ways, what somebody does in 10 years, you may do it in 1 year. So, if you live here for 100 years, people feel that your impact on life on this planet is like 1,000 years, simply because of the intensity of who you are. So, the chant was just about this, but the last line was about, but if you become samayadipate, that means if you become master of time, then you are delivered into a completely different space, because time is a concern only because of our physical nature. How deeply you're identified with your physical body, to that extent time rules you. You don't have to look at your watch. As we sit here, slowly your bladder will tell you it's 2 hours. Yes? So what you call as physical body is cycles of time. What you call as planet is cycles of time. What you think is a day is just a rotation, what you think is a month is a rotation of the moon, and what you think is a year is a revolution of the planet. Everything is in cyclical motion. One who transcends this cyclical movement of physical nature, now he becomes a master of time. Then life moves into a completely different dimension. This is the aspiration of the human being. Knowingly or unknowingly, everybody is aspiring for it, but if you aspire consciously, there is a possibility. Please.
So you just mentioned that every single day we are going towards our grave. I strongly believe in that.
Not that you believe, you are.
I think we are all stopwatches, and we have a stopwatch on top of our head which we can't see. I think all of us are on life support, even though we can't see it because we don't control our breath, our next breath, but we yet want to be in control. We are dying every single day, so what's the whole purpose? I mean, I would want to be in control of what my plans are in 2 weeks, 2 months, people plan for 2 years. What's the whole purpose there?
What's the purpose of planning? So that…
Of trying to control when you don't control when you come in, and you don't control when you go out.
No, you could control when you go out. When you come in is not your business, somebody else did that. That also somebody planned, all right. they planned, it was their plan that you must come in at this time. But when you go, is your plan. You can plan, isn't it?
But people who come under, car accidents, they have not planned, it just happens.
Bad driving. See, we must understand this. Physical world, physical reality is subject to various forces. If you manage those forces well, you will ride it. If you don't manage it, you will get crushed by the same thing. So many people are using their cars to make their life every day, yes or no? One day, either because of your mistake or somebody else's maybe, somebody did not handle that force properly, speed properly, suddenly you're dead. But there are so many millions and millions of people across the planet who are handling this right and making their life, isn't it so? If there was no automobile, you think I would have reached here or you would have reached here? Maybe you live here, but I wouldn't have reached here. I'm saying it's making our lives. Well, when we don't handle it right, it'll crush us, of course. This is the nature of the world and it's good it's like that, because if competence is not rewarded and incompetence is not punished, there would be nothing to live for here. Isn't it so? What would you live for?
So if I'm sitting on a plane and the plane crashes, I'm not controlling that.
It is 737 then.
So Sadhguru, most generally, women do not dare to fight against…
Hey, they're fighting all the time, within the house.
the place of the fighting, which is where I'm coming. So they do not dare to fight against few corrupt police system and bureaucracy. I come from India, so I'm talking in terms of my country. When logic fails, women like I face threats that malign and question our chastity in the process. How do I win this over and still keep continuing to voice out, especially in places like a police station, being a woman?
You shouldn't be going to the police station. A lot of people don't go to the police station. You all go to the police station? No. Well, either somebody did something wrong, so you went to report it, or you did something wrong and you got a ride, free ride. This happens once in a way, the less it happens, the better. Police are there to handle situations only when they go wrong. How often in a society situations are going wrong will determine how often we're all going to the police station, isn't it? The idea of civilization is to minimize that. We've not been able to eliminate that, but we must minimize that our life situations don't lead us to police station, prison, hangman, whatever. It shouldn't go there. But unfortunately, we've never managed to create a society where nobody goes there. Somebody is always going there. How much percentage of people are going there is the important thing. Anyway, for your information, India is one of the least police states. Okay, for the amount of population you have, the number of police you have is very minimal. Most people never go to the police station, they sort out their issues in the village, in the town by themselves. Well, in United States, for example, if a mosquito bites, they'll call 911. In India, it's not like that. Even if a tiger comes, we try to deal with it ourselves. And about what you are saying about police, whatever you experience, that's not true everywhere. Police have come a long way in India. But you must understand the systems of policing in India. I'm not trying to criticize anybody, but the systems of policing in India largely come from the British era. When the English were there, they created police to control people, not to make them safe. but to control and oppress people. That was the purpose of the police at that time. But the same training processes, actually same training institutes are still training our police. Same systems. So still many of the police have still same attitude, that they still think they're an occupation force. The freedom has not entered their… as an idea has not entered their head. Not all of them, much has changed, but still there are some. So you may face something, it is on the way out. You have to bear with it, because when a nation goes through centuries of occupation, the hangover of occupation remains in people's minds. That has to go, we have to work it out.